Hello and welcome to your online physical geography course. I'm going to be your instructor this term. My name is Professor Jeremy Patrich, and I'm very excited to share my passion of geography with you in the online interwebs that we can share here between Canvas and the grateful and appreciated use of YouTube. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to myself, the course, my objectives, my expectations, the textbook, and some tips and tricks for success in accomplishing and learning to be a geographer such as myself in whatever time span this online course may be. It's fun to share my passion with geography with you. I find that these classes, especially online, can be very engaging and human with your help and support by engaging with the videos, engaging in the discussions and things like that. But just know that the rigor remains the same, regardless of the length of the term, whether it be a 3-week or even a 16-week course. It just gets accordioned. It either gets squished or stretched out. And so just know that we're going to be covering a lot of content in this video that really introduces you to how to be successful in our online physical geography course. Well, with that being said, let's get started. All right, so I think the best way to start, like I said, is introducing who I am. So who am I? So I've already introduced myself. I'm your instructor, Jeremy Patrich, but I feel that I need to give you a little bit of my story very quick, because I could talk forever on this, of who I am and where I am right now, how I got here, to try to really provide you some insight on who I am, and hopefully that I get to learn more about you in our class as well. So my name is Jeremy Patrich. I am a first-generation college student. I attended my local community college, College of the Canyons, in which I earned my associate degree and got kicked out, had too many units, another story. I went to Cal State Northridge, where I earned my bachelor's degree in physical geography with an emphasis in geomorphology. I then completed my master's degree there. And about that time is when I got my first job teaching. I was a geography teaching associate for labs at Cal State Northridge in my graduate work. But Santa Monica City College put some faith in me, and that kind of started my academic career. I was part-time there. I got to teach at UCLA Extension. I taught at Pasadena City College. I've taught at, like I said, Cal State Northridge, College of the Canyons, College of Alameda. I've been all over the place. Victor Valley. I'm very fortunate in that because in my teaching experience, you get to go to new places, you get to meet new populations, you get to see and experience the true diversity that makes California the incredible state that it is. After landing a tenure track position at College of the Canyons, I continued to take courses. I'm a forever student. I love to learn. I am not saying in any way that I know everything, but I am saying that I want to learn about it, and I want to know a little bit about a lot of different things. And so I went back to school. I took some geology courses in my undergraduate, but I finally earned a degree in geology, and then I've taken a bunch of other courses that I think have helped inspire me to be a better instructor and a better colleague, and really just a better person to be around. In generally, I've taken things such as liquid syllabi, taken courses on equitable grading strategies and how to be allies, and all kinds of different things. And I just feel that's the more that I get to learn and experience the online world as well, especially Canvas, I get to see it from a student perspective, inspires me to change and adapt my classes for you to make it more welcoming, to make it more human, to make it more equitable, and to make it more accessible, and hopefully to help it make more fun. That's what my goal is. Like I said, I was first generation. I'm part of a lot of different groups on our campuses. I support a lot of our students, whether it be through our foundation in scholarships. I have a lot of privilege for where I am now. I've got an incredible job. I get to do what I love every single day and share it with you. And I feel that it is an obligation for me to support any way that I possibly can, to pay it forward, if you will. And that's what I'm here for. I'm really here for you. So if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out. Anything that I can support you with, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to create an access of this course for success for you. I also acknowledge that you're probably not a geography major. You're probably completing this course to fulfill some part of your pathway. And I respect that. I'm grateful you took this versus taking another physical science course. But I'm still going to hold you to that accountability that I want you to learn our list of course objectives, outlines, student learning outcomes. I'm going to hold you accountable to that. But in the back of my mind, I'm still going to remember that you're probably not going to be a major in this, in this field. So there's a little bit of flexibility, and just know that I'm here to work with you and meet you where you're at. But yeah, that's me. I could tell you more about. You can probably tell from behind. This is not a green screen. This is my office from home. I'm a Disney fanatic. Aside from teaching, when I was in college, I started working at the Disney stores, and I've been there for over 20 years. And so I'm a big Disney collector. You'll probably see some of that in our class here and there. But I've got some fun things behind me. I'm trying to think of what's here. This is my little vintage shelf to the early Magic Mountain before it was a Six Flags and all kinds of other things. But if that's where our connection is with being with Disney, then let that be our connection and founding point. And then from there, we can move on into what physical geography is and how there actually is a lot of overlap within those two areas. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. For the most part, there's a lot more, but I'm not going to bore you with it. So lovely to meet you. I cannot wait to learn more about you in our first discussion and throughout the course. But now that I've introduced myself, let's jump into... I have my little note to remind me the order in which I'm talking about these things. Let's talk about what is physical geography. What did you sign up for? Let's learn next. All right, like I said, an overview, big overview. We're going to have plenty of lectures on this in a minute when you start working through the modules, but I want to kind of introduce you to what this class is. When I think of physical geography, I think of it as being the why. Why mountains are located where they are, why volcanoes are located where they are, why do we have a moon, how do the oceans work, and why do they operate, and why are they salty? Lots of different things, right? And then, of course, you got to take the human element, and how do we work within that environment. So every course has its own unique description, but essentially they're all going to say something similar about how this course will examine the Earth's dynamic physical systems and processes. Topics will include things such as, the Earth's sun geometry, weather, climate, water, landforms, soils, biosphere. We'll dive deeply into glaciers, deserts, rivers. We'll talk about the seasons. We'll talk about soils. We talk a little bit about a lot of different things. And when I think of this whole course, it's really about what you stand facing. So when you go outside and you look outside, we have energy coming from the sun that's providing light, and that shortwave radiation. Then it transfers into long-wave radiation, which is sensible heat, and then how that radiation overall creates our weather, which then leads into our climate. It's like everything builds onto one another. And that's what this course is about, is just really talking about the world that we live in, its dynamics, and then how does that really play a part in my life? Another topic that I haven't mentioned yet that this course will also dive into, which is a very small, acute piece, which is geology. Geology and geography are very different, but they're also very similar. Geography is big picture. We're going to look at the mountain. Geology looks at what it's made out of and its mineral composition, its chemistry. So we'll talk a little bit about minerals and rocks because I feel that that's really important to understand those fundamental basics of minerals and rocks, to then be able to say, oh, Yosemite National Park, Half Dome, largest glacially cut half dome in the world, is a very unique type of rock. It's a granitic, which means that all that rock was formed deep beneath the surface and cooled very, very slowly, which explains why it has such. Anyway, I digress. There's a lot of that big picture stuff, and I want to make sure we can really have an understanding of it, so that way you have a better opportunity to be cultural and physically literate, to be able to understand the world that we live in, the landscapes that we have, and to not just say, wow, the Grand Canyon's totally cool. But to say, it's cool, and this is why it looks the way it does. This is how it formed. This is its general story. And I think that really just adds another layer to this tapestry of just brilliance of a planet that we live in. So again, this course, this was just an overview real quick, but just looking at the world that we live in, I think then the natural next step for us right now is to talk about the textbook and really the modality in which you will be completing a majority of this course. So let's go. All right, let's start off with the book. This is your textbook. This is what the book looks like in a physical format. For you, in most cases, you'll be taking this class online, which means that this textbook is converted into PDFs that are accessible and readable within Canvas. This is a ZTC, or a zero text cost book, meaning that this textbook there's nothing to pay for. It's free. It's free for you to be able to access this information. You will notice as you're working through it that the author of this book looks a lot like me. So I wrote this textbook for my students, for you, as a gift, really, a gift of education, because you're already paying to participate in this class, whether it be through a scholarship or whether it be through some type of first-year grant, or you're just paying for your out-of-state tuition, whatever it might be. So I wanted to be able to make this class as accessible as possible beyond in the limitation that I have, and that's this book. I take pride in this book. I'm not saying it's the best book, but I'm proud of what I did because I've never written a textbook before. And so this was my first attempt. And I've made lots and lots of adaptations and changes over the last couple of years, and I'm still very proud of it, but I'm excited to share it with you. There's a couple great things, aside from being free, is that this book is broken up, and I built the course around the book, which makes it nice. But this book has these type of things. I think of it as a living text. This is a check it out QR code. So while you're reading the book, you can scan the QR code or click the link because it's a PDF, and it will take you to a video to let you dive a little bit deeper, to take this text and make it into a living document, to see a video. So as an example, this video here says, check it out. You want to see how the Public Land Survey works? Click on this video and explains how with lots of examples. So you learn about this public land surveying element, and then here you can see it actually work through, which is great. Every book has a summary and a list of objectives, and I think that it's a great foundation for us. So like I said, this book is integrated into your Canvas module. Since the book is free, since it is provided to you, I am really, really expecting you to read the book. That's why it's there. I didn't put all this effort into this textbook and to provide it to you for you to say, cool book, and then move on. I'm expecting to actually look at it. In order to validate that, you will see that there are module quizzes. So there's a quiz assigned to your reading. Very short, but nonetheless, it ties the text to the quiz, and then you will see that there are other assignments that tie the text and the lecture videos, and everything kind of comes together. So first, the textbook. I am expecting you to look at it. I'm expecting you to utilize it. You have it as a PDF. It's very easy to search the document for what you're looking for and to fill in the gaps there. The next thing I want to talk about is Canvas. So regardless of where you are taking this course, I'm utilizing the same structure. I believe in structure. I like that. It may shuffle depending on the length of the term, but essentially the way it works is that you are given a module. And this module is going to have a couple things. You work at the top and you work your way down. So it starts off with an overview and provides you some focus questions, which are big questions that ideally by the end of this whole thing you're going to be able to answer or understand. Then I provide a set of lecture multimedia. That's if we were meeting in person, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about if we were in person. So those videos are around the 25 to 30 minute mark. I am expecting you to watch them, just like you watch this, to engage in those videos, to like it, to watch it, to comment on it. If you don't want to comment or like it, that's fine too, but you can still utilize that information in your module assignments throughout this course. I am expecting you to watch the videos. Your exam, whether you have a midterm and a final or just a cumulative exam, there are questions pulled directly from the PowerPoints in the video. So I am expecting you to watch those. I'm not expecting you to watch it at normal speed if you want to. You can speed it up if you like, or you can slow it down, or you can rewind or come back to it. I like that I do these videos this way because then you can screenshot the PowerPoint, you can hear me talk about it, you can see my hands, whatever it is that helps engage in the video, it's all there. Then you have generally a reading, a set of reading, whether it be 1, 2, or 3 different chapters or modules. So usually a module or a chapter, I use the term synonymously, are between 10 and 15 pages each. It's not too bad, it's very manageable. I have that expected reading, and I usually provide some type of overview video that kind of says, hey, this is what you're going to learn about within this chunk. Then you're going to have a discussion board, a quiz, and some type of assignment or activity. The discussion board, when you do your first discussion board, there's a video explaining what my expectations are. Very simple. But we have to do discussion boards. It's a law in California. There must be discussion boards or student-to-student interaction. So I'm expecting you to be authentic. I'm expecting you to do your best and just work with me. I tried very hard to make these topics enjoyable versus a traditional discussion. Like I've taken classes where it's so mundane. I try to make them exciting, and I'm also open to feedback if you can think of something that'd be a little bit different. Then I said before, you're going to have a quiz, and then you'll have a module assignment. The way the modules assignment work is you usually have 3 topics, and I'm asking you to pick one, and then you'll write about that topic. The general length for those module assignments is 500 words. Because of this, no term paper in this class. So you're going to have these module assignments. If for whatever reason you decided to pick, topic 1, and you're writing about it, and you're like, oh, you know what, I just cannot hit the 500 word mark. Here's your solution. Then you stop, finish your thought, and then pick another topic and write enough about it or summarize enough about it to reach the 500 word count, and that's perfect too. The tone in those module assignments can be anything you'd like. First person, narrative, research, as long as you do proper citations and follow the rubrics. I'm open to really any way that you want to approach this assignment, whether it be through lived experiences or utilizing the books. One thing that's a non-negotiable is I am looking for authentic work. I want to see your lived experiences, your answers, your research in these assignments. So we will utilize both a plagiarism and an AI detector, and I have set parameters of what is acceptable versus what is not acceptable. We all use AI. Whether you say you do or not, you do. We all do. Predictive text, spell check. When you're typing and Grammarly pops up and says, oh, you should move this adjective, and that's all artificial intelligence changing what you have written. So I understand that there's a parameter that we all use. So there's a like I said, a barrier or a parameter which is what I consider to be acceptable. But once it becomes unacceptable, we're going to have a conversation. I feel that the number one reason why people utilize AI to complete homework is because they don't have time to complete the homework on their own. So I would rather you turn it in late than find another way to complete it that may perhaps lose you all the points for that assignment. So because of that, you will see in the syllabus that I have a very generous late policy. I allow any module assignment or quiz to be submitted late, less a very small penalty. Discussion boards, you will see, are due on Friday. Your initial post and peer response is due by Sunday. If you completely miss the Sunday and the discussion board locks, you cannot submit the discussion on Canvas. It is locked. However, you may still submit your initial post for 6 points. and I'll give you that. You got to email it to me, though. Life throws you curveballs. Life can be crazy. There is a lot happening in the world at any given time, and I'm aware of that, and I'm cognizant of that, and I know that your life is different than mine. So the best way for us to meet in the middle is for open communication. Let me know what's going on. Communicate with me. Oh my gosh, I've got this happening this weekend. I have that. I just need a moment. I need a day to go to Disneyland and just not do anything. Okay, let me know. Talk about it in advance. Let's try to figure things out, and I'll meet you where I can. And I'll do the best that I can to provide an accommodation for your success. Okay? I'm here for your success. I take pride in people's success. I will do whatever I can that I feel is equitable, that I feel is fair, that I feel is ethical, to provide you opportunities for success. But if you don't open that communication with me or tell me what's going on, I can't help. So I hope that this video overall has at least made me seem approachable to you, and that I can try to earn your respect and trust in that we're going to have a great time this semester, and that I'm here for you whenever you need. Send me an email. We can set up a Zoom. We can set up a whatever. If you're on campus, we can try meeting up there. I'm here for your success, and I'm here to teach you and to share my passion of geography with you. So with that being said, I am so excited to share this semester with you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this welcome video. Thank you for enrolling in my class. I know you had other options, and I'm very appreciative that you decided to join the adventure with me. And and don't forget to subscribe to my videos, because if you're taking my class and you subscribe, that's one of the first assignments. You can earn extra credit. You're probably thinking, oh, that's tacky. Why is he making me subscribe for extra credit? I'll tell you why. You subscribe, and then as you complete videos and lectures in our class, YouTube tracks it and lets you know. So when you come to the exam and you look at a playlist of all the lectures that you've had this semester, you will see which ones you've watched, which ones you didn't watch, which ones you started but you stopped. So you'll be able to fill in the gaps. YouTube tracks that information for you and allows you to understand, where the pieces fit in. That's why I have this on there. I have you subscribe for that. So make sure you do that. Click like, comment. I'm excited to share this semester with you. And I guess that being said, let's get going.